Welcome back to Ion Harness Racing. I'm John Pavlak. Two of the sport's biggest races are nearly upon us. The Hamiltonian eliminations will go to post this coming Saturday evening. And earlier in the day, the Delvin Miller Adios will be renewed at the Meadows. They drew posts for the Delvin Miller Adios Final this week at the Meadows. Based on last week's eliminations, it appears we've got a good one waiting for us. Sweet Lou's likely to be the hometown favorite, won against a rock and roll dance and a thrilling finish, which must have trainer Ron Burke and driver Dave Pallone feeling rather confident.
Through the stretch, Sweet Lou by a length and a quarter, a rock and roll dance. Coming to the wire, it's all Sweet Lou.
Bettor's Edge, who has been off the radar for much of this year, got a big win in the second Adios elimination. Trainer Linda Toscano watched her horse win the faster of the two eliminations in 1:49.
The door with the lead on the inside, Bettor's Edge closing with every stride, breaking the wall. Boom! The door gives way to Bettor's Edge at the wire.
I was real happy with him. He's been kind of a unlucky horse this year. It sounds crazy when you say he keeps drawing the rail, but the rail is a bad spot for that horse because he can leave enough to get himself in trouble, and then he winds up either being in a first over position or having to sit in. And he wound up in that spot both in the North American Cup and the Meadowlands Pace eliminations. And he sat in both times with him, and he finished up with real good pace with nowhere to go. And finally, last week, I'm not going to say a 9-hole was a better spot, but at least he got himself where he needed to be. So he wound up in a real good spot turning for home, and he gritted it out for the win, so I was tickled with him. Tough group, tough group, deep group of horses, pretty much all of them can go about the same. Post position and race and luck is going to make a difference. I think Sweet Lou's got a hair of an edge here on his home track, and I think they want this race probably more than they want any other race. But it's a deep group. Post position and trip's going to make a big difference.
On the same night as the Adios draw, the Meadows honored North America's new dash-winning king, Dave Pallone. Pallone made headlines on July 5th when he won race 15,181. The fans got a chance to honor a man who has driven thousands of winners for them, and they got commemorative hats and a special book detailing Pallone's feats. The Adio Volo will also be raced at the Meadows on Saturday. The race, one of the top races for pacing fillies each year, took on added luster after Big McNeil lowered the world record for sophomore pacing fillies on a 5/8 mile track. It came this past Saturday when Dave Pallone drove her to a 1:49-1 victory.
Big McNeil has the lead. Darina Hanover on the outside second. Will have to settle for that spot. Coming to the wire, it's all Big McNeil.
Looking for a fun and easy way to learn more about standardbred racing? Harness Night School, Thursday nights. Enjoy access and learn the game from top racing insiders via chat and video. Miss a class? Read the archive. Harness Night School, Thursday nights. Let's get rolling.
Looking back at this past weekend's action, the spotlight fell on Mohawk Racetrack in Northfield Park. Mr. Herbie was overlooked in the wagering at 8-1, but in the lane in the $750,000 Maple Leap Trot, he and driver Jody Jamieson prevailed in a heart-pounding finish.
And on the lead is Chapter 7, rushing up 4 wide on the far outside comes Mr. Herbie as Jamieson cuts him loose, and here comes Mr. Herbie. Herbie's rolling. Chapter 7's going to have to dig in. Mr. Herbie on the outside comes to him now. Chapter 7 gives way. Mr. Herbie's got him colored, and it's Mr. Herbie to poke ahead in front for Jamieson. Flaws the Shillelagh. Mr. Herbie to win this one.
There was also an upset in the $111,500 Battle of Lake Erie, where Foiled Again was looking for an unprecedented third victory. In the lane, Classic Rock and Roll dashed those dreams with a 150-3 victory with driver Dan Noble calling the shots.
Homeward bound in the Battle of Lake Erie. Foiled Again trying to find the line. Inside Classic Rock and Roll. Foiled Again. Classic Rock and Roll takes the Battle of Lake Erie over Foiled Again.
You couldn't have mapped this one out any better, I would think.
Yeah, when I spoke to Tony, he asked me if I could push him a little bit, and this horse would have a good kick on the end of the mile, and it worked out perfect.
Now, as we said, this horse raced at the Jug 2 years ago, won an opening heat of the Jug 2 years ago, and it's pretty much been in Canada ever since. But obviously, those Toronto horses are super tough, and he comes into this open race and wins it.
Yeah, I remember the heat of the jug. I actually followed this horse in that division of the jug, and he's been up against a lot of tough competition in Ontario.
Are you ready to learn? Even if you're an old hand at harness racing, I'll wager you'll learn something if you attend Harness Racing Night School. Every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, starting this week, our instructors will delve deeply into topics both basic and advanced. You can download free course information and chat with prominent experts. Make sure you don't miss a single session. Sign up at either ustrotting.com or at horseplayernow.com. There's a likely favorite in this week's Delvin Miller Adios, Sweet Lou, but there's also a field deep in speed and talent to challenge him. In any event, this is how Trackmaster sees it, based on their exclusive Platinum Past Performance Power Picks. Power Ratings. It's another way to put yourself in the pari-mutuel winner's circle, exclusively at Trackmaster.com.
Ready for the latest advances in handicapping technology? Trackmaster is your solution. With 20-plus years of providing a wealth of information, Trackmaster has tools for every level of player. Trackmaster Pocket Handicapper for iPhone and Android puts the power of a computer in the palm of your hand. Drill down to charts and race videos. And with software like Plus Pro, even the most advanced players have sophisticated tools to succeed. The complete source for thoroughbred, quarter horse, and harness racing information. Trackmaster by Equibase for the serious player.
The Meadows will also be the focus of the USGA's strategic wagering program on Adios Day. The track has planned a $15,000 guaranteed superfecta and will also shortly announce a Pick 4 guarantee that will include the Delvin Miller Adios Final among its races. Always make sure you check the latest guarantees available to bettors online at handicapping.ustrotting.com. That's it for this week. Next week, the trotting classic of all classics, the Hambletonian, will lead the news. We'll see you on our next edition of Eye on Harness Racing.